so I'll fire first, and then Bowl, and then Heinz, and then so on. We'll each be firing at whichever target we like, basically. So I'll do a quick backblast check. So backblast clear. Bowl, help me out here.
Yeah, you're clear.
Anytime.
Right, I do a check around myself just to make sure. I don't trust Bowl. I take aim, I say rocket, 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 and I fire. That was a hit. Ooh.
You did hit it.
There we go.
Had to think about it.
Alright, that'll respawn in a minute, so whenever you're ready, Bowl, you want to take another shot?
Alright, clear backblast.
Not clear?
Not clear.
Let me know when I am.
Right, you're clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Oh.
Hi.
Which one were you aiming for there?
I was aiming for the third one.
Couldn't see if that went over or under.
Went over. You're clear.
Rocket, rocket. That's not 300 meters.
No, I thought Heinz was next.
Got a rangefinder.
Well, I will zero at 300 meters, that's for sure.
Alright, Heinz.
Yeah, I was the same.
You want to do the honors?
293.
Clear back left.
Clear, I think.
Let me check here. 250.
Alrighty. Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Rocket.
Not clear.
Clear back.
Not clear. Clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Oh.
Good hit.
Nice.
Rocket, rocket.
Good hit. And finally disc.
My blast.
Clear.
Clear. Firing.
He's going for the 600. Missed. You are clear. Not clear. Clear.
Alright, if anyone's still got a launcher left, fire it off real quick. We're moving on to Matt. Worth noting that it's your job to be conscientious when the guy's trying to clear his backblast. Get out of his way or he will hurt you.
Before we move to Matt, there's a couple of launchers which have some interesting sights. One good example is the RPG-26.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. We should probably cover that.
Sometimes you have to use control right click to switch between the sights, and you want to be using the peephole for the 26. It works fundamentally the same. Yeah. It works exactly the same as the one we just used, but it's just a bit of a different sight.
Yeah, the top sight is a bit misleading, seeing as the actual front post is off center from your screen.
Yeah.
It's much easier to use the peephole even if you don't have as much peripheral vision. From there you can zero up to 250 and down to 50. No need to really fire with that though, for now I don't think. Just so you're familiar with how to use the sights on it.
Oh well, take a
Alright.
shot.
Probably worth pointing out that the M72E10 and the RSHG2 are not anti-tank launchers, but are in fact
They have a thermobaric warhead, yeah. They're mainly designed for anti-structure or anti-bunker roles. However, they can be used against light vehicles in a pinch.
And groups of infantry.
That too.
Or a tactical blob.
Basically,
Alright.
counter to that.
That basically concludes. Alright, so let's start by answering a question that before I looked it up I didn't actually know the answer to. What's the difference between Matt and Hat?
Medium and
Now,
heavy anti-tank.
That's the obvious answer, thank you Noggy. The answer we're more interested in is doctrine. How do their roles differ? How does their use differ? What is the difference when you slot Hat versus slotting Matt?
Suspect Hat is supposed to have the multi-piece static launcher, and then Hat doesn't.
In some cases, but
You
Hat
want
can also
answers?
use the javelin. The
Yeah,
more
the guidance system.
Well, Matt
Yeah,
is often more audible and like it's not
Depends
just
on what
stuffed
you're
onto a
doing.
rifleman.
does anyone know the answer?
Hat is more meant for heavy targets such as tanks and whatnot, and more specialized in that role than Mat, which it can also just, in the case of Maws and Smalls and whatever, can be used against structures, infantry, and whatever else you have rounds for. Versatility and specialization. And of course, the fact that the hat is generally also heavy, in that you need several people to carry the things.
The trade-off there being that Matt is more maneuverable than Hat.
And more versatile.
Exactly. So the key difference here is one of doctrine. You can have a Matt and a Hat team sometimes with even the same launcher. That's rare, but it can happen. The key difference though is doctrine. Matt is a more versatile role. It's more of a jack of all trades, master of none. Hat is specifically designed to take out heavily armored enemy targets, whereas Matt can be used in a variety of roles. Now with this comes a certain set of launchers that Matt will often use, as well as a sort of standard structure we have for the Matt team. So I'd like everyone to quickly grab a backpack, a carry-all backpack, Coyote. And let's start off with the M3 Maws. Feel free to put an M3 Maws sight on it and grab
Or
yourself.
just one? Doesn't matter.
It's the only one available.
It's the only one.
No,
grab
I got the
yourself-
vanilla one as well.
No, for me.
Oh yeah, the Maws. And grab
Mark
the
4.
RHS one.
I thought you meant optic bear, sorry.
And you'll want to grab some HEDP rounds. This is case in point exactly what I was talking about in terms of versatility. You've got 3 different rounds here. There's actually more than this available, but we'll just stick with these 3 for now because they're the ones that are useful for our purposes today. HEDP stands for High Explosive Dual Purpose. And it can be used both on armored targets and softer targets. Basically, it's a sort of jack of all trades warhead. HEAT, High Explosive Anti-Tank, specializes against armored targets. And just HE specializes in making a big boom and killing lots of soft targets. Within the Matt team, there are 3 roles. You've got your leader/assistant, you've got your gunner, and you've got your ammo carrier. Now, each of these people has a specific role to fill within the team. I'd just like to cover that briefly before we actually start some shooting. So, the leader/assistant, the title really varies, but the role is in essence the same. They're the ones with the radio and the rangefinder, and normally the leader of the element. They'll be tasked with basically carrying out CO's plan, getting the Matt team in position where they need to be, and making sure they're at the most effective. They'll also be tasked with communicating with other elements and CO over the 148 command net, and basically micromanaging the members of their team. They'll also have some ammo for the gunner, as well as rangefinders to help them acquire and get the distance to targets. They'll also be responsible for spotting the fall of the Matt gunner's rounds and helping them adjust if they miss first time, or basically giving them whatever their effect on target was, if there was any. The gunner, his job is a lot more simple. He carries, aims, and fires the launcher, and he's responsible for basically hitting his target and having the correct type of ammo loaded when he does. For example, if he's aiming at a T90 and he hits it with an HE round, that's not going to do a lot. He wants to be using a heat round for that, or an HEDP, failing that. And that's his job, is to have the right warhead loaded for the right situation and to hit what he's aiming at. Ammo carrier is the 3rd man of the team. He also has some spare warheads for the gunner. And his job is to act as a sort of redundancy for the team. He's the most expendable member of the team. He'll be tasked with providing security while the gunner gets his shot, and being on point for any breaching actions or any frontline combat the Matt team engages in. He'll also be responsible for picking up the equipment of any fallen comrades. For example, if the leader dies, he would pick up the radio and rangefinder, as well as any spare rounds, and assume that role so the gunner can do his job as he was doing before. Or if the gunner dies, he'd be responsible for picking up the launcher and any remaining rounds and firing it like that. That's really it for the ammo carrier. He's got a pretty junior role.
One thing, there is also the assistant also in some cases just reload the launcher, which is actually something that is modeled in Arma, assuming that the mods are properly configured for ACE, to interact on a launcher once a round has been fired and reload it externally.
I didn't know that. I can't see many situations where that is more useful than just the gunner pressing R.
It's amazing though.
Well, you can still keep your rocket or your cursor on the target. That's the main thing, really.
That's true. That'd be more useful, I think, in a hat roll where, say, if you're using a tow, you got to keep your cursor on the target.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're just going to use the Moors for now, and maybe the RPG. Titan, how far out is the nearest target?
That BRDM is 293 meters.
293. Okay. So let's start again from right to left, and commence firing. So I'll go first. I'll make sure to clear my back blast again. So clear back.
Clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Sure.
Low.
Damn.
Low launcher.
Oh, this, gear up.
Back blast!
Clear.
Firing!
Don't know what you were aiming for there.
Titan, load
Middle.
me up.
I
I'm
can't.
loading you up. There you go.
Good job, guys.
It's loaded.
You want to take us out next, Bowl?
Alright, Peanut, how far is the farthest one?
When you fired your shot, guys, just go and grab a RPG-7. We'll go
Furthest
through
one,
the
the
optic
MBT.
real quick for
Farthest
that.
one, yeah.
That MBT is 597.
Also, fingers. Something that I would also like to point out when it comes to stuff like this. Is
Clear
that
backblast?
You
Your
can actually
backblast is not clear.
stabilize your weapon.
Disc fingers, Fredo, you're in a backblast that needs to be.
Hang on.
Backblast, please.
There you go.
Clear.
Firing, firing. My safety was on.
I always do the same.
It's short.
Looks like the range is a little short on this, guys. Aim higher than you need to.
One thing I'd like to emphasize is practice is everything with these things. Whatever you get taught today means nothing if you can't hit your target. And the only real way to get better than that, to get better at that, sorry, is to practice either in the editor or the arsenal, or I don't know, in a wasteland server or something.
Or in this.
Or
This is on the
load
server
up
now,
this.
so.
Or in
load
this,
up this
yeah.
mission.
Load up this, have a go.
Clear backblast.
Clear.
Rocket, rocket.
You need to aim quite a bit higher than you think.
Steering at 600.
It's
Same here.
597 meters away.
Hmm.
600, yeah, but if you aim 600 and aim at it, it's not enough. You gotta aim over.
Yeah.
We're not very good at this.
I guess, is it Peanut up next? We're not being very good at staying in order.
No, we're not. Yeah, Peanut is next.
I think someone's in lat.
Yeah, this.
A
Short.
little bit short, Peanut, but you were close.
You're clear on the left side.
Yeah.
600 meters to target.
It's cooking off.
Clear on the way. Never mind, sorry, not.
Maybe wait until it blows up.
Yeah.
When you've shot your bolt, guys, go and grab an RPG-7 and stick the PGO sight on it. Also want to grab some OG-7V rounds and some PG-7VLs.
Alright, clear the back blast.
BLs, he said.
Yeah, VLs.
Alright.
Anyone yet to fire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
still need to fire. Make sure you're clear. Back
Clear.
blast.
You're clear.
The way.
Firing. Oh.
Short.
Yeah, there's something fucky with the Moors sight.
Yeah, the mouse has just a
We'll
little.
try it out.
Yeah.
Clear back.
Trying again.
Mine out, Noggy.
Clear.
I'm gonna try a different rangefinder.
Clear back blast.
I think the rangefinder is right. I think it's this
Clear back.
scope.
Restore.
Alright. Fire.
Rocket, rocket, rocket. Not rocket.
Had a boo boo.
Clear back, class.
Clear back.
My
Get a
leg
boo-boo.
is fucked.
Clear.
Fire.
On the way.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Clear the back blast.
Short.
Where the fuck did I
You
go?
clear next seat.
Rocket.
It's not just the optic.
Alright, Heinz, clear.
So with this RPG optic, is the X your crosshair?
We'll go over that in a second. Everyone grab an RPG-7. What's up?
I can grab RPG.
Which
Oh,
which
not
round
that
for the
right
RPG?
now.
You can use Ace
Uh,
Interact.
awesome.
VL.
Yell it.
Yeah.
It's
Grab some-
Ace Interact with the crate round.
Okay.
You get Arsenal.
You
Oh,
grab
yes.
some OG-7Vs and some PG-7VLs. Also, the PGO
OG7.
sight. Yeah. It's just two examples that are visually distinctive. There are a variety of different ammo types for this, but we're just going to cover two
Bull.
of the most
Yeah.
commonly used
If you
ones.
self-interact, you should see a new option.
Ah, the field manual. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go over that in a sec.
Yep.
Okay, so has everyone got one?
Get the optics.
We're not going to be taking any discs.
That was me.
Okay.
To save some time here, we're just going to be firing all our shots at once, volley fire style. But if everyone wants to familiarize with the sight, just look down the sight picture and get an idea for what it looks like. You got the X at the top, and then the sort of chart going down, and an M on the left, and a Cyrillic character on the right. I don't know what that is.
I think it's an L.
Regardless.
P.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Self-interact with yourselves, guys, and go to the RPG-7V2 field manual. Here you'll see a little breakdown of each of the different ammo types we use. The 7V, which is the basic anti-tank. The VL, which is the improved round, most commonly seen within MAT teams right now. The VR, which is the big boy strong one. That'll take out MBTs in some cases. And then you got several kind of anti-personnel types. The OG-7V, which is probably the most common one. Type 69, Chinese one. And the thermobaric, the big, hefty chonker.
Thick boy.
Yeah, that has some major drop on it, so be very careful firing that, you don't kill yourself. Anyway, and on the right side you'll see a picture of the optic again, and the 6 round types below. If you click on each of those, you'll see a different part of the optic is illuminated. So for example, we're firing the VL right now, so let's click VL, and we'll see the right side of the optic lights up. This means that that 1 is for 100 meters, 1.5 for 150, and so on and so on. 2 for 200, 3 for 300. By default, the black X at the top is where your round will land if you're firing from 0 meters. From there, the drop is accounted for by the chart. So that first top line there would be if you were aiming out to 100 meters with the VL. The second one would be for 150 meters, and so on and so on. Built into the sight, you can see the little sort of, I don't know how you describe it, sloping thing with a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, and a 10 on the bottom right. Everyone see that?
Yeah, that's the rangefinder.
That is a rangefinder. What you can do with that is line it up with the vehicle. Line the bottom line of that thing, where the 2.4 marker is. Line that up with the bottom wheel of a Vic, and see how far up it goes. The ramp. Sorry, I have a hard time putting this into words, but if you line it up, you'll see that that BTR out there is about 350 meters away. More like 400 actually. You can work out the range by putting the 2.4 line on the wheels and seeing how far up it goes. Like at what point the vehicle intersects with that slope curved line. So it intersects around the number 4, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is anyone not getting it? Excellent. Okay, so we can work out just using the sight that vehicle is around 400 meters away, which is actually too far for this round. So let's instead fire at the BRDM because that's 300 meters away. So I want everyone to volley fire on that. If everyone's up against the barrier, we shouldn't need to clear back blast. This is just a little bit of fun. So, alright. If everyone wants to fire on 3, 1, 2, 3.
I think we got it.
A lot of us were a bit low, but yeah.
We got it, guys.
I'm not sure if something changed.
What are we getting?
From here, let's just grab an M47 for now. It's the simplest hat launcher, so we'll start off with it. Actually, scratch that. We're instead we're gonna. I want everyone to buddy up, find a partner, and I want you to between you grab a tow. So one man grab a gun bag and one man grab a tripod.
Which launcher is this?
Who wants to be friends?
Tow.
I'll be your friend.
Everyone partner up with someone
Which part do you
and
want?
get a launcher together.
You know, to
You're the
grab
grab one?
Tripod.
I'll
Yeah,
get a tripod.
absolutely, yeah.
Yes, we are.
I grabbed the
so
tripod.
instead-
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah,
Once
yeah.
you've got a buddy and a launcher, head to one of the shelters and get set up.
Where do we
Go
find this
to
thing?
Tripod.
And the
Oh, it's in
backpack.
backpacks.
Backpack.
You not?
Yeah.
Grab a tow tripod from the backpack section in the arsenal. You're using that instead of the dragon.
Has everyone got a pair? Is anyone without a pair?
Which,
For
we
Okay.
fire?
Take the gun pod from the backpack section.
Now I get you. Thanks.
One of you need to decide
I think
between
this is my shit.
gun bag and who has the...
Tripod.
Sorry, I'm just getting it set up for you.
No, no,
But we need to learn how to set it
Now
up.
Bull didn't learn.
Put some
Oh,
clothes on.
sorry. Teach him.
I can't get it back.
Alright, break this thing.
Yeah, but the backpack has no different type of things.
Use a tow gun bag and a tow
Oh, yeah.
tripod.
Pick up.
Nope, nope.
You have to pick up the
If
bag.
you
have to
scroll,
have it in your
you get the
inventory to
disassemble thing.
assemble it.
You're good over here, guys?
I thought it was Ace.
So it looks like bags. So
Stand
yeah,
over at
you
this
are
side.
carrying the gun on your back now.
You got
Yep.
Then that means you can interact with the tripod when it's on the
What you
ground,
need to do is
Go ahead and you get
and vice versa.
Aha,
But
it's not an Ace thing
Yeah.
either.
the direction, like you will want to be
So
facing
that's
in
how
the
you build it,
direction
basically.
that you will want to deploy
Cool,
it.
thank you.
There you go.
Oh, we probably should have put it somewhere.
And then you can aim it
Yeah.
Drag it back
where you want to go. Okay.
You disassemble it, pick it up, or you can...
yeah,
pick it up with
you
Look around in the turret, so. I did say assemble in the shelter. I don't think there's enough space for it. No, that one will get occupied. Who's this one? Stop infringing on my rights. Shut up. Is there a way to zoom with this thing? Let's see. Plus minus? I forgive you. Doesn't need to be. No ranging either. Huh. No ranging for this. Which one is this thing have the flyover tiles?
I'm gonna watch your miss now.
I don't think so. I think it's just direct fire.
It has BGM Bunker Buster, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So we wait with fire.
That's the anti-structure munition.
Let's be rebel.
I think I'm sure that there's actually some.
can also be used against infantry because it's uses like thermobaric warhead and whatever.
So it's flames.
Yeah.
Yeah, like air pressure,
Flames.
like sucks the air out of things.
No.
Alright,
I don't
Like, you know the
Stuff like
difference
that.
between... Yes, thermobaric. So you know the difference between the RPG-26 and the Rishka 2?
No.
Okay.
Well,
It's
it's
a
more
illegal
the explosion is more
empty
fire than
the-
shrapnel or whatever.
Gotcha.
And it's not just that you get burnt; it's like it sucks up all the air and stuff like that.
So does the gun bag for this thing come with just 4 shots? Is the
Yes.
ammo stored in the gun bag itself?
The ammo is actually stored in the tripod. It's a Piers board. It's Piers stored in the ball situation.
Yeah, this is a finicky armor thing, like
magic
logic.
tripod.
It depends on the mod as well. Some mods, for that reason, store it in the gun bag instead of the tripod.
Well, that's a better thing.
So the gunner will be...
Yeah.
able to
Well, there is probably more
more
space in the
logical.
tripod.
also have a backpack. And you just assemble it where...
There's no standard to it. That's all.
Alright, guys, when you're all set up, gather in.
Oh,
We'll
there's the
talk
armor
about
standard.
What's going on here? Or
I'm
while we're all together.
Going over here to listen. What
Yeah,
say?
I'm jumping out.
Gather in.
We're going to fire it. Yeah, I'm looking for cover.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. Alright. So this is the BGM TOW. Oh well, it's the M4A14 TOW. It's, that one might be. It's a wire-guided missile system. 2 men to set it up, 1 man to fire, and 1 man to reload. What you do to fire this, or to operate it, is you will notice there's no ranging system on it. This is by design. You don't really need one. You basically hop in, point at your target, and fire. From then on, the missile will follow wherever you are pointing the optic. It's wire guided, so you're still actually attached. The missile is attached to the launcher via a wire. So wherever you point the optic, the missile will follow, allowing you to correct course in midair to hit moving targets, or adjust your aim, or anything which might require mid-shot adjustment. Now this does have some disadvantages. It means, for example, if a target disappears behind a building, you won't be able to hit it, where if you had like maybe a lock with a javelin, you would. It also means that if there's a bush or a tree in your way between you and the target, that could disrupt the wire and cause the missile to fly off in a random direction. Bear knows all about that. However, these cons are far outweighed by the pros of being able to adjust mid-shot and not have to find any sort of range or calculate for any kind of drop. There's 0 drop with this thing, so just point, shoot, and stay on target till you hear the boom. This comes with 2 munition types. There's the standard loaded heat, and there's also the bunker buster, which is more of a thermobaric round, again designed for anti-infantry and anti-structure use. Also, you'll notice that if you zoom in a few times whilst you're operating this, you'll get the thermal camera, which can be useful for spotting targets even when you're not actually engaging enemy tanks or armor.
How do you zoom in?
Just plus on your numpad.
Gotcha.
Or right click. Yeah, plus on your numpad.
Shooting on planes.
Yeah, I've seen this thing take out a helicopter before.
Because it's an AA piece, man.
Yeah, if you guys want to head back to your lanes and start firing us off some targets, let's get at least 1 shot off with everyone, and then we'll bring it back in.
Yes.
I'm actually not that familiar with it, thanks.
It's different, but there is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, this has a lot of...
Alright, your backblast is clear when you want to shoot there.
Firing.
Hey Bear, do you have access to
Some good
the...
teamwork here, guys.
Let's see, Oscillot, the command
Good hit.
debug console.
Yeah.
You just saw some...
If you can...
Alright. Alright, gathering, guys. Let's everyone grab a
around.
javelin.
The javelin or the javelin tube?
Ooh, yeah, we've got 3 CB in the RHS one. Let's do the RHS one for now. It's the one with the blue star next to it.
Weapon?
Yeah, they're the same. It's just one of them has a little bit more functionality. Well,
Yeah.
more depth to it in certain ways.
This assembly part.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Should spawn helicopters. And shoot them down.
Yeah, we got a tow for it, so...
Oh, we got javelins.
Yeah, but tow is, you know...
The best part of the javelin.
Something I want to point out when it comes to these launchers and such is that you can actually stabilize them on stuff and like walls.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
you can rest them as you would a rifle.
Yeah.
Does it make a difference?
Yes.
It does.
If you stand near them, you see the box like by your stance indicator. When that box is present, which can be either when you're by a wall like this, or when you're standing next to a pillar or wall like here, it does make a difference. It makes it
Yeah.
more stable and
I get that, but normally does that just reduce recoil, which isn't really a factor?
It also makes less sway with your shot.
Yeah, less
Ah,
sway,
cool.
So if you sprint up to
pretty
a wall,
unuseful.
less
Yep.
likely to miss or something.
With this,
Especially when
you have to hold it on the target for a little bit, Bull. So if the target's moving, it'll make that a little easier.
I don't know what the default lock key is for these things.
Hold tab and while in thermals.
Tab. Okay. So with these, there's a pretty complex firing procedure, at least compared to the other launchers we've looked at today. You can change the firing mode of this thing from direct, which will hit like side on, to top, which will mean the missile will go up slightly and then down onto the target for maximum effect by pressing F or whatever your fire mode key is, like how you change from semi to full auto on a rifle. You'll see the light change.
If I change too much, it puts me in my rangefinder by pressing F.
Yeah, it goes through them all.
Yeah, you can use Control Tab to just go between the two fire modes when you're in the site.
Yeah. The first thing you need to do with firing this is zoom in once. Wait, or is that the nah? Yeah, zoom in
You
once.
just need to switch to thermal.
I think these ones are just thermal. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused.
Sorry.
Remember Jeff has made a video on these ages ago. Yeah, so switch to thermal mode for these, and you want to just hold down tab on your target until you see the little seek button at the top light up, and then it starts making a different noise, and you see a crosshair on the target. Once that's done, clear your back blast and fire as you usually would. Am I clear, Titan?
Yes.
Alright, firing.
Clear back blast.
Alright,
Clear back.
let's...
Roll good.
Assume you're all gone.
Good. Clear back blast. Robot
Jesus Christ.
Chapter's not quite good.
Just hold down.
Alright, ceasefire that, guys.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, also, worth knowing, guys, if you... Shit. Fredo's just taught us a very valuable lesson. Not Fredo. Who was that?
Chinese.
Chinese.
I assume that was intent.
If you fire one of these from the inside of the
No, the
building,
box is cooking off.
using the top attack mode,
The box is burning.
Any fixes?
if you fire one of these, and there's something just an obstacle to your front and upper, like this, for example, the missile will hit it and you will die. That's only if you're firing at top attack mode. If you're firing just regularly, you should be okay. It's just something to be aware of at top attack.
You need to be concerned about the ground in front of you as well. If you're firing up a slope, for example, the round could just fall onto the ground before it actually ignites and flies off.
Yeah, it takes about a distance of 5 meters for the actual motors in the round to ignite. For the rest of that time, it's basically in free fall after it poops out the barrel. So you could end up hitting yourself with it quite easily if you're not accounting for terrain or obstacles.
In that case, like, do we have to keep aiming at the target till
it's
we
fire
fire with the
forget.
lock on, or does it make sense to aim kind of up or sideways so that it will curve back and you'll avoid terrain?
As long as you've still got a lock, it doesn't matter where you're pointing.
Okay. But is it better to like curve it or point it away from nearby terrain so you don't blow yourself up?
Yes, it's better. It's better to make sure it has as few obstructions as possible.
If you look down.
Alright.
Of course, real men.
Let's do the end law first.
Ah, yes.
If everyone wants to follow Titan, he's going to lead us on this one. He is.
Do we need to get any ammo for the end law?
No, it's
The Swedish
bit of a
made,
weird
so
one,
you
this
don't
one.
have to.
Preloaded disposable.
Let's go for
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's a disposable mat?
It's not matte. It's what a
Technically-
Rifleman anti-tank would have.
Yeah.
For some reason, we use it as matte in some of our loadouts because people like using it as matte. I think.
Well, technically, people use it as math, you know.
It's a bit of a weird one. So
but-
the N-Law, it's kind of special because it's predictive. Now, before we get into how to predict, we need to make sure we have our binding set up. I think by default it's tab. If you press tab, you should hear a click. If you don't, you need to go into your controls, configure add-ons, and then I think it's Ace, and then bind something for your
Ace
N-Law.
weapons.
Ace weapons, yes, thank you.
In law, track target. Track target.
Yeah, so I use tab. It's pretty easy. Use whatever you want though. And once you have that bound, you should hear a click when you press it when you're looking in the N-Law. Give you guys a few seconds to get that sorted. If you can't figure it out, please pipe up. While we do that, I'll put some targets down.
I think it's tab by default. Oh, I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so has anyone not got a click when they press their button? No. Okay, awesome. So what this does is you will hold the button, so it clicks, and then you can fire, and whatever you're aiming at, it will hit, pretty much. Now the predictive side of things, if the vehicle is moving, say right to left, and you hold tab on that vehicle as it's moving and fire, the NLAW will predict where the vehicle will be at that range. And hopefully it'll hit it. It's a bit tricky to do. We do have an example over to the left, which we'll get to in a second, but for the time being, let's focus on these static targets. So if a couple of you, who's this on the right, Rounds, Chinese, Nixie, and Bear, if you go from right to left, so Bear, you're the furthest left, Nixie, you're second from left, Chinese, you're second from right, and then Rounds, you're right. Look at the target, hold tab, and then fire when you're ready.
Anytime.
Yeah?
Press F to also change the fire mode to top down.
Yeah, we got that as well.
Although keep in mind,
Does this
what
thing
we said
require
about
any range finding?
instructions-
Nope, that's what holding the tab does. It'll do that all for you.
Is this one wire guided or is it just
No.
hold tab and shoot?
Get on my back last, please.
Ball. That's gonna.
Not shooting yet.
Oh, okay.
Nixie, Chinese, Bear, you can all fire when you're ready.
Firing.
It's pretty effective. It does the job.
Really comes into play. Target and moving target. Right when the vehicle stays.
What I'll do is I'll replace these and then you guys can try the top attack mode. So you need to press F once and you'll see top right, the little icon changes to a down arrow. This will do something similar to the Javelin. I don't think it's as extreme, but it'll be kind of similar to try and get the impact to be on top of the vehicle. I need to replace the top.
Clear back blast.
We're not firing yet.
We're not firing yet. Targets.
If you remember from the start, the tanks, so they are more vulnerable at the top.
Yep.
So the top attack really helps there.
Can you, Titan, can you, to show off the top-down attack mode, can you put some heavy tanks down?
I'll put a heavy one down, yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, put it use direct attack first to demonstrate, maybe.
Everyone faces with the armor, yeah.
Okay. As you can see, we now have an MBT. Facing towards us. So we don't want to hit it on the front, but as Fingers pointed out earlier, the top is relatively weak as well. So let's have Bull Soldier demonstrate. So Bull Soldier,
Sure.
you're aiming at the tank. The top right on your fire mode should be the down arrow, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, now you hold tab looking at the tank and fire when ready.
Clear my back blast.
You're clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Okay, so it's a little different
than the Javelin itself.
And someone else is firing something else.
Did my rocket blow up before it hit the tank?
I think it hit the...
It hit the. It looked like it hit the gun.
Yeah.
And
Nuggy,
that should
wanna-
be a firepower kill.
Yeah. You want to give it a go, Nuggy? Yeah.
Top attack or normal?
Top. Let's do top.
On the way.
I think it explodes on top of the
Possibly, yeah.
it explodes too quickly and hits the front part of the armor. It doesn't detonate over the turret.
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, the NLAW is not designed to take out tanks. It's mainly a light/medium AT.
Yeah, just using the tank to demonstrate.
Can I
The
try?
top attack should do more likely to hit the top.
Alright, give it a go. Just
Yeah, the
Blast.
problem is that it's detonating
Clip.
too early. Here you can see, like, it hit the track there.
Yeah.
Results may vary. But that's the intent of the top attack, is to try and hit on the top of the vehicle. Hasn't worked quite as we expected in this case, but what do we want to do here? Because we do have the moving target thing.
yeah, let's have a go at that. I say everyone picks like a launcher of their choice, and we have a go at that.
Yeah. So everyone grabs what you want from this end box.
Yeah, grab whichever launcher you like best.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, got a moving M113 here. Fire away, guys.
Ammo back, boss.
Clear. Not clear.
Oh god, whose backlash do I get out of?
Good hit.
Nice.
Alright, I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, I'd like to try the Enlaw's predictive thing.
Yeah.
Just blowing stuff up for the
I'm gonna put an M113 down for the ball here for the Enlaw. A little bit closer.
Clear him a back blast.
You ready, ball?
No, I gotta rocket. No, it's slowed down. My rocket's all over the place. Feels bad.
Yeah, the varying speed really messes with you. It's kind of actually really hard to hit these.
Clear back.
You ready, ball?
Clear back blast. Yeah, I'm ready.
Start driving it.
Rocket.
Wait until it's moving.
Where is it?
It's
Why the fuck? Oh.
Is it to the south?
Yeah, there
Right
it
in
is.
front of us,
South.
direct south 180,
Give it a
like
minute.
200 meters.
Let it get some speed up.
It is pretty tough when they're deciding to start and stop.
Oh!
No, ball.
Yeah.
It's the one that's like 300 meters away.
It's literally right in front of us.
The one that's
Right
driving
there.
away from us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot at that.
Oh.
It went.
Oh, it just
didn't
swerved
seem
at the
to
end and-
adjust
and
very
missed.
much.
Okay.
Do you need to keep holding tab for a while?
Yeah, hold
Like
tab
3
while-
seconds or some shit.
Hold it all the way up until you fire, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh,
But hold it for a few seconds
and it's
first.
firing like a second later. Is that
It's predicting the velocity
It-
before it fires.
It extrapolates based on the movement you've done whilst you've been holding it down.
so
So
you
the
have
more
to keep it
yeah.
trained and
Yeah.
held
Yeah,
for a
It,
minute.
it doesn't
Okay.
communicate with the missile after you fire.
Yeah, all it's doing is basically setting like the relative horizontal motion from your
Back
position
off.
to the target.
Yeah, I just
so that it
didn't know how long that would take. Cool.
like that.
Rocket.
Something. Hopefully a
Yeah.
bit more.
Shoot off what you got, guys, and we'll call it for that.
Yeah, can I get one more moving target? Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It was close, but you could see what it was trying to do there, yeah?
Yeah, I get it.
It's too close and too fast. I think.
Oh,
That thing is going.
But always steering.
Let it go.
I may have destroyed it, I'm sorry. Try something a bit slower.
What's next?
Last target.
Let someone shoot down a helicopter with the javelin. It's always cool.
Let's have a quick pop
Good
quiz.
hit.
Anyone know what the difference is between a missile and a rocket?
A missile is more guided and use different
Yeah, it's
type
more
of
guided.
fuel, like different type of fuel, I guess.
A missile is guided, a rocket is unguided.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. You were right, Rounds, and then you kept talking.
Yeah, but I guess like rocket fuel, different type of fuel. I don't know.
It's not rocket science, don't worry.
It's not disappointing.
If the thing corrects in the air, it's a missile.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the quick little things.
The scenarios, sure. We'll split the guys.
Oh, you wanna try and set it up in here?
Yeah, well, maybe we can
Oh,
put
yeah,
it
dude.
through somewhere.
So a bit of information for the scenario. We are defending against an armored push from the southwest. I've drawn roughly where they're going to be coming from. They're moving down the valley towards us. So as a hat team, CO has asked us to set up on a nearby hill. We picked this one. Got a good view over the valley. Got a little bit of cover. I think this is a decent spot for a hat. So if we set up the launchers somewhere around here. Let's get one down here, Bull.
Sure.
If I drop the tripod.
Okay, let's dump it down, Heinz.
Alright. Where'd it go?
I need to keep yours picked up. Have it on your back.
Sure.
I picked it up.
And then when you look at the backpack, you want to be looking where you want it to face when you create it. So scroll on it and hit assemble.
But you can just move it and drag it around.
Yes, you can if it isn't quite right, but yeah. So if you hop in that, its functions pretty much exactly the same as the toe.
Drop it on the ground. Your thing.
You can use WASD to make it rotate and stuff as well, I believe.
I just couldn't get the scroll real off.
So it's got a little bit more functionality than the toe. But...
Right, this is like your max limit.
Okay.
Put a stake down for you, I would.
The front vehicle has reactive armor on the front and the sides, and the rear one doesn't have any.
Okay.
So for the front one, you need to prioritize, try and hit it on the top, whatever. But let's try and hit the rear one first. Do you see them yet?
Oh, yeah, I see them. Sorry, they're way closer than I thought. I was looking at the distance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trees there. Not a good chance of hitting them. Gonna wait till they get in this next bit of road. No, the back one's much slower.
So Ball, you go for the back one, and then Disc, you go for the front one.
Fuck.
Front one's with reactive armor. You have a good shot now, Ball.
Yep. Right on the front, where we didn't want to hit
I
it.
might have actually missed behind Disc.
Front one's still moving. The second one seems to be immobile, so let's prioritize the front one.
Yeah. Reloading.
Gun.
I'll keep an eye on the back one, and if it changes its mind, we'll... You may have got a gun kill on the front one.
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
disabled.
There we go.
You can see how effective that armor is on the front there.
Yeah, I didn't have much of a choice.
But now it looks like you got a track kill, so it's kind of fucked. The
Yeah,
gun's
one track's
disabled,
still-
one of the tracks is down, so
Yeah,
that
like
tank
barrel
is...
smoking and the back is smoking as
Yeah.
well. This thing's pretty messy.
Yeah,
Oh, it's dead.
there you go.
Oh no.
He's
Oh, no,
going...
there he's running.
Let's go for the second one as well.
Yep. Gonna aim for the... Oh, yeah, wait, you said the turret's usually quite heavily armored, right?
Yeah.
I could aim for the side, but it's very oblique, so I assume that's
Yeah,
not
so
worth-
you gotta kind of try and weigh up your options here. I think trying to go for the lollipop on this one might be
Yeah,
good.
that's what I was thinking. Slightly to the side as well, maybe. Aiming for the lolly.
It's a good hit. Pretty big distance, so it's going to be hard to get that, but...
A little bit high.
There we go, barrel smoking. That thing's going to cook off momentarily.
Good, that was my last shot.
Heinz! We're out of ammo! Run!
This thing usually only comes with 3 shots?
You don't use that one very often, but yeah. The tripod, I believe. So say you were to disassemble this, switch
Get a new
out the
tripod, yeah.
It's either the tripod or the gun. I never remember.
It's the gun. I think it's the
gun.
Usually has the ammo.
Yeah. So if your assistant gunner would have another of either the tripod or the gun, it'll be the right one. You
okay,
switch
cool.
that out and you can reassemble it and it'll have ammo again.
Yep. You could also rearm it from like a rearm truck, but we almost never have that sort of stuff in missions.
Yeah.
But if we did, then you could still use that. Just pull the truck up and reload it.
So is that the scenario done?
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of something you would experience as a hat team at a session. Obviously, like we say, you still... Sorry, 1 second. Obviously, with what Fingers was saying about where you want to hit the tank, that's best case. Ideally, you want to be hitting it in the rear, but if you don't have any other option, you still have to try and take out the tank. So we didn't have any other option with that front vehicle other than to hit it in its reactive armor. It took a couple more shots, but we still got the job done. It's better than trying to wait too long to get that ideal shot and endanger your friendlies. So you kind of have to weigh up the different options.
Made a big difference because we basically took that second one out in 2 shots.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
after
it
the first shot, it
started
didn't
smoking
move. The turret didn't move, the vehicle didn't move, so I think that's probably a crew kill on the first rocket on that one. Whereas the second one was a lot more versatile. Durable, sorry. Right, I'm going to move us back to the place. Scenario is we're moving through a town and we come across a hull down BRDM. So if you come over here, you'll see down the road there, 190 degrees, we have a hull down BRDM.
Damn.
Terrifying. What
Yeah.
will we do?
What will we do? We'll range it. It's 200 meters away. You can also kind of do this via the map, but that was a different thing. So we got 200 meters. We got a PG-7V. So go to your field manual, click PG-7V. That's the leftmost numbers on your optic. 200 meters. You can figure it out from there. Now, obviously, with this being hull down, it's a little bit of a harder shot. So don't worry too much about missing your first one, but ideally you don't want to be missing your second one.
Back blast?
So, yep,
Am I good?
yep.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
That
Did hit. Good shot.
Yeah, that would have killed the driver,
Yeah,
commander.
can I give it another shot?
Clear him a back blast.
Yeah, clear.
Rocket.
All good. Go. Wow, that goes really sideways. I got hit by that.
I'll heal you.
About tire.
Thank you.
Okay, give me a second. Disc and me will fire at another one in a moment. I'm gonna move us.
But
Similar situation, but this time we got some altitude. Give me a second. Where is it? I need to replace it. This time, let's try and use the built-in rangefinder to get the range. And give me a shout, what do you think it is?
Where's the target?
Yeah, did you put it in the same spot or?
92 degrees on the road, heading out
Oh,
of
yeah,
town
I see.
towards us.
Behind the sandbag things there, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd say that's slightly under 300.
Anyone else want to give a guess? Or an estimate using the thing?
Hold on, I can't even fucking see it.
I'd say it's about 300, 250. But because we're elevated, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we're oblique to it, so it looks bigger than it is.
The range is 340 from here to there. This is a similar situation to what we had in the session the other night when we were attacking a town on Malden and we missed a lot of shots. So this is almost identical situation. Hull down vehicle, impeding our approach on the town since we don't have a lot of cover. And Matt has been tasked to deal with it. So same as before, check your field manual using PGV-7Vs. 340 meters. So halfway between the 3 and the 4-ish, and then fire when ready. It's you, Disc, I think.
okay. Firing.
340 meters. Backblast is clear.
Little high.
Yeah, I think my original guesstimate was right.
It's 340.
Right, mind if I take a shot?
Yeah, go for it.
Back blast clear?
Yep.
Firing. Oh, okay. It's closer to 300.
Back blast clear.
That's probably due to the fact that we're higher than it. So gravity.
Ah, yeah.
Am I clear?
Yeah, you're
I am
clear.
clear, okay. Rocket. Oh, that was
Oh.
too short.
I'm gonna fire. Backblast clear?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Is RPG not a perfect weapon?
No, it's not.
No. You ever seen Black Hawk Down? How they just like whistle all over the place? That's they're horribly inaccurate. To be fair, if you're lobbing rockets at a vehicle that's like 300 plus meters away on an incline with something like this, like it's probably a waste.
Now, in session, if I was a team lead, Missing once, okay. Missing twice, I'd start thinking about repositioning.
Yeah, I was
Probably
gonna say,
further down the ridgeline to the east here. Try and get a bit closer,
in
make
this
the shot a little bit
specific
easier.
scenario, You go to the far side of the hill, it can't engage
Yeah.
it. You just loop all the way around
Yeah.
and go walk up to it and shoot it in the butt, and then it's
Yeah.
done.
Like I say, 1 or 2 shots miss, think about repositioning. Report
I
back
blame
to
the
the
Russians.
CO that, you know, we're not effective at this range. We've tried, but we don't want to waste all our ammo.
Yep.
But yeah, let's head back. Okay. We killed our hat targets and our mat targets, no problem.
We took a few attempts, but we got our mat targets, and the hat targets were fairly simple.
Yeah, Russian weapons definitely work correctly and don't miss ever.
That manual is way old.
Gather in, guys. Let's wrap this up. Gather in,
come
gather
over.
in. So, thank you all for coming today. Does anyone have any questions about what we've covered? No? Excellent. I hope to see you all slotting mat next session, or even hat, God forbid. Maybe once in a year we'll get that in a mission, but you know. It's worth mentioning that any of these tactics can be, well, you can at least practice, well, not practice. Put some of these tactics you've learned into effect next session by just slotting rat and having a go. Or mat if you're feeling more confident. I hope you take, this shouldn't be the end of your experience with these though, these launches. You should go off in your own time and practice with them. That's the only way, especially with the unguided ones, that you'll be able to reliably hit targets with them. Gauging distance is something that you can do by eye and takes practice, but it can be done reliably with a lot of work. You put in the work and you will see the results. Yeah. Thanks for showing up today, guys. It's been a pleasure leading this
Hope
workshop.
it's been useful.
Yeah. Thanks to Titan for putting together the sweet range and helping with leading the course.
Thanks,
And
guys.
thanks for Bed for recording
Yeah,
this.
thanks for hosting.
Yeah. But I think it says the most important thing is if you want to get better, this is only going to help a little bit.
This is
You
consider
need
this
to
your
be
primer.
going in and putting the you know the little bit of time in to get better.
Putting in
You
that
can't-
work.
Just
You can get some of that in session, but ideally I'd rather people didn't gamble when taking the mat roll.
Yeah.
Having
Everyone
some
else's
understanding of what's
enjoyment
going
relies
on.
on that.
Yeah, yeah.
This may be the end of the workshop, but it's the start of your
Career
road
is
to becoming
thank you.
an AT Pokemon master.
Yeah.